In the heart of our village, where the palm trees whisper secrets to the stars, lived Samuel, a man of 55, his skin dark as the fertile earth, his arms strong from years of climbing those very trees. Every morning, before the cock even thought to crow, he'd slip out into the darkness, tapping the palms for that sweet, fresh wine everyone craved. As Samuel's wine, the villagers would say, it dances on the tongue like morning dew. But Samuel wasn't alone in his world. There was Sarah, his wife, beautiful, with eyes that held the fire of the sun, serious in her ways, vibrant like the market on festival days. She carried herself with a fullness that turned heads, her curves a constant tease to those who whispered behind her back. 10 years married, and no child to show for it. No little feet pattering across their mud brick floor. No cries echoing through the night. From the eyes of the villagers, oh, how they watched. Mama Ngozi, the weaver with fingers like spider silk, would lean over her loom on Sunday afternoons, spotting Samuel and Sarah walking back from church. Look at them, she'd hiss to her neighbor, Papa Ease the fisherman. Arm in arm, smiles wide as the river. Organized proper, like their life is a neatly tied bundle. But 10 years. No belly swelling true, no baby in her arms. What curse clings to them? Papa Ease would nod, his pipe puffing smoke like a dragon's breath. Aye, Sarah's fat enough to fool the eye. Folks think she's with child every season. But nothing. Gods must be angry. Or maybe Samuel's wine isn't the only thing gone sour. Sarah heard the whispers, felt their stares like thorns. But she held her head high, gripping Samuel's hand tighter. In her mind, as they strolled that dusty path, she'd think, why us? We've prayed, sacrificed chickens at the shrine, visited every healer. Is a child too much to ask? One fateful night, as the moon hung low like a weary lantern, Sarah tossed in her sleep. The air was thick, the crickets a chorus outside their thatched hut. In her dream, a figure appeared, radiant, wings like mist, voice like thunder wrapped in silk. Sarah, the angel intoned, I come with a gift. A child, a blessing to your home, your village. But heed this. The day you reveal your true self to this child, the secrets of her coming, that is the day you leave this world. The choice is yours. Yes or no? Sarah's heart raced in the dream, her breath shallow. A child. After all these years. What true self? What secrets? But the longing clawed at her soul. I've waited so long. Emptied my tears into the river. What do I have to lose? Life without a little one is no life at all. Yes, she whispered, her voice trembling but firm. I accept. The angel nodded, fading into light. Sarah jolted awake, sweat beading on her forehead. The hut was dark, Samuel's side of the bed empty. He'd left for the palms at 3 a.m., as always. She sat up, rubbing her eyes. Just a dream. Why such visions now? The mind plays tricks in the witching hour. She rose, splashed water on her face from the clay pot, the coolness grounding her. Angels and curses? Nonsense. Focus on the day, Sarah. Samuel will be back soon with his jug full. Out in the bush, Samuel climbed the swaying palm, his knife slicing precise, the sap flowing like a blessing. The night was alive. Owls hooting, leaves rustling. But then a cry pierced the silence. A baby's wail, raw and desperate. Samuel froze, knife midair. Bush baby. Or a wild cat in distress. Ignore it, man. Finish the tap. But the cry persisted, tugging at him like a hook in his chest. It rose when he turned away, fell when he listened. Not natural. Something's calling me. He scanned the ground from his perch, the fading moonlight glinting off a basket below. The cry came from there. Heart pounding, he scrambled down, thorns scraping his arms. There, nestled in leaves, a tiny girl. Barely 2 days old, umbilical cord still fresh, placenta remnants clinging like a cruel afterthought. Oh my God, Samuel muttered, his voice a hoarse whisper. Who would abandon such a fragile thing? In the bush, for animals to claim? He scooped her up gently, her cries softening in his arms. Am I holding her right? She's so small, like a bird. What now? Take her home. Sarah. Oh, Sarah will know. Leaving his bicycle behind, he cradled the baby against his chest, jogging back through the paths. The village slumbered unaware. In his mind, panic swirled. Is this a sign? Or a trap? God, guide my steps. Bursting into the hut at 4 a.m., Samuel's breath came in gasps. Sarah, Sarah, wake up. Look what I found. Sarah, still shaken from her dream, spun around. Her eyes widened at the bundle in his arms. Samuel? A baby. Where, how? In the bush by the palms. Crying like she was waiting for me. Look at her, beautiful but so new. Placenta still there. Sarah's hands trembled as she took the child, the tiny face peering up. Oh my God, why now? The dream, is this it? The gift? Fear and joy collided in her chest. She whispered aloud, she's perfect. And with my shape, no one would question if I said she came from me. They've thought me pregnant for years. Samuel paced, wiping sweat from his brow. What do we do? Someone might come looking. A mother, desperate maybe. Sarah rocked the baby, wrapping her in a clean cloth. Or not. The bush hides sins. But Samuel, remember my dream? The angel's words. He stopped, eyes meeting hers. The one tonight, about a child and death. She nodded, voice low. I accepted. Thought it folly. But here she is. Samuel sank onto the stool, head in hands. Coincidence? Or divine? We can't turn her away. But the risk. As dawn crept in, they sat together, the baby cooing softly. Sarah fed her goat's milk from a gourd, while Samuel brewed tea. We wait, he said finally. See if anyone claims her. If not, she's ours. Days blurred into a tense watch. Villagers passed their hut, unaware, but Sarah and Samuel jumped at every knock. What if it's the mother? Sarah whispered one evening, peeking through the curtain. Samuel squeezed her hand. Then we give her back. But if not, we name her properly. No one came. Whispers in the village shifted, eyes on Sarah's sudden seclusion. Mom and Gozi clucked to Papa Ease at the market. Sarah's not out much. Think she's finally birthed? After all this time, Papa Ease chuckled. Miracle if true. Samuel's beaming like a new father. Inside, Sarah confided in Samuel over dinner. The dream haunts me, revealing my true identity. What does it mean? That she's not mine by blood? Samuel shrugged, but worry etched his face. We face it together. Let's celebrate her. A naming ceremony. Call her Luna, for the moon fading when I found her. Sarah smiled, tears glistening. Luna, our light. The ceremony buzzed with village life, drums pounding, palms clapping. Elders blessed the child. Wine flowed from Samuel's taps. But as the moon rose that night, Sarah lay awake, Luna in her arms. Is this miracle or curse? What secrets must I keep? And just as peace settled, a shadow stirred outside their hut, a figure watching from the trees. Who was it? And what did they know? Years slipped by like river water over smooth stones. Luna grew under Samuel and Sarah's roof, her laughter ringing through the compound like temple bells. The village embraced her as their own miracle. Sarah finally bloomed, they said at the well. That child came straight from heaven. Samuel taught her the rhythm of the palms, how to listen for the sap's sweet sigh. Sarah showed her the herbs that healed, the songs that soothed fevered brows. By 5, Luna spoke the village tongue with the elders' cadence. By 10, she devoured books borrowed from the missionary school, her mind hungry as dry earth after drought. One afternoon, Sarah found her daughter under the mango tree, nose buried in a tattered volume. Mama, listen. Luna called, switching suddenly to perfect French. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Then, without pause, Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Dutch followed, then bits of Mandarin she'd puzzled out from an old dictionary. Sarah's heart swelled, but a shadow crossed her face. So gifted. So fast. The angel's promise feels closer every day. The naming ceremony still lived in village memory. The drums pounding, firelight dancing on faces, everyone swaying around the circle as the elder lifted Luna high and declared, Luna, born under fading moon, may your light never dim. Time raced on. At 16, Luna's brilliance caught the eye of the district education board. A rare sponsorship slot opened. Full ride to university. The village gathered to see her off, women ululating, men clapping palms like thunder. Samuel stood tallest, chest proud, though tears gleamed in his eyes. Go, my moon, he whispered as she hugged him. Bring back knowledge for all of us. Sarah held her longest. Remember who you are, she said softly. Luna laughed. I'm your daughter, Mama. Always. University changed her. She graduated top of her class, Dr. Luna, youngest in her cohort. When she returned, the village erupted again. She set up the small community clinic, white coat crisp against her skin, stethoscope around her neck like a sacred necklace. Old men shuffled in with aching joints, Mothers brought feverish children. Luna listened, prescribed, comforted. She organized student volunteers from the city, teaching them to check blood pressure, teach hygiene, distribute mosquito nets. One bright morning, an NGO convoy rolled in. White trucks with blue logos, foreign doctors in khaki, bringing vaccines and hope. Among them was Derek, 34, tall, fair-haired, eyes the color of clear sky. He'd worked missions across the continent, but nothing prepared him for the sight of Luna. She knelt by an elderly woman, speaking gently in the local dialect, then switching to English for the nurse beside her. Derek watched from the supply tent, clipboard forgotten in his hand. Who is she? He thought. That fluency, 5 languages at least. She's wasted here. She could change the world. He approached during a quiet moment, wiping sweat from his brow. Excuse me, he said, voice warm. I couldn't help noticing. You just explained diabetes management in French, then switched to Dutch for the Belgian volunteer. That's extraordinary. Luna looked up, startled, then smiled, wide, genuine. Thank you. Languages come easy to me. I like talking to people in their own words. Derek extended his hand. Derek Harlan, pediatric specialist with global reach. And you are? Luna. Just Luna. Village doctor. They talked for an hour, about childhood diseases, rural access, the stubborn beauty of this place. When she laughed at one of his jokes, something shifted inside him. I'm in trouble, he admitted silently. Big trouble. Weeks passed. Derek extended his stay, citing follow-up assessments. Truth was, he couldn't leave her. He'd find excuses to work beside her. Carrying supplies, translating for other expats, watching how she handled every crisis with calm grace. One evening, as the sun bled orange across the sky, they sat on the clinic steps sharing warm tea. Derek turned to her. Luna, you have a gift. Not just the languages. The way you connect, the way people trust you instantly. You could do so much more. She tilted her head. More than this. These are my people. I owe them everything. I know, but hear me out. Global Reach has openings in the regional office, coordinating programs, training staff, representing us at international conferences. You'd travel, speak to governments, bring resources back here tenfold. I'd make sure it happens. I'd make sure you're taken care of. Luna studied him. Why me? Because I've never met anyone like you, he said quietly. And because the world needs your voice. She looked away, toward the horizon where the palms stood like silent sentinels. Mama would say take it. Papa would say go shine. 2 months later, she accepted. The village threw another celebration, drums again dancing, tears mixed with pride. Samuel held her tight. Bring honor, my moon. Sarah whispered, stay true. Luna moved to the city, then traveled, Geneva, Nairobi, Amsterdam. She gave speeches in 5 tongues, negotiated funding, sent trucks of food and medicine back home every month. The village flourished because of her. Children grew stronger. Elders lived longer. Derek was always near, colleague, confidant, then something deeper. Late-night calls turned personal. I miss your laugh, he'd say. She'd blush in the dark. Then come visit. And he did. Back in the village, time wore on Samuel. His knees weakened. He coughed more. One rainy night, Sarah sat beside him, holding his hand. Remember the vow, she murmured. If you go, I have to tell her. Samuel squeezed her fingers. I'm not leaving yet, woman. And even if I do, how do you know the dream was real? Maybe it was just a dream. They laughed weakly, clinging to each other. But the next morning, Sarah woke to silence. Samuel's chest no longer rose. She cried out, a raw sound that carried across the compound. The village came running. They buried him under the mango tree he loved. Luna flew in, eyes red, voice breaking as she spoke at the grave. Papa, you gave me everything. I'll keep giving. After the morning week, Sarah sat alone in the quiet house. Loneliness pressed like a heavy cloth. She pulled out paper, pen trembling. I must tell someone. Before I go. The truth should not die with me. She wrote the story. The dream, the angel, the bargain, the baby in the bush. Every detail. Then she folded it, sealed it, and waited. One evening, Luna called. Mama, I'm coming home next week. Derek too. I want you to meet him properly. Sarah's heart lurched. Good child. There's something I must tell you. Face to face. Luna laughed lightly. Mama, you sound serious. Is everything okay? Sarah hesitated. Just come soon. As Sarah hung up, she glanced toward the door. Outside, in the gathering dusk, a figure stood motionless under the mango tree, watching the house. Not a villager. Someone who had waited many years. Who was it? And what secret did they carry? The plane touched down under a sky heavy with rain. Luna stepped out, Derek beside her, his hand steady on her back. She wore a simple white dress, her mother's favorite color. The village road felt shorter than she remembered, the palms bowing as if in greeting. Or farewell. Sarah waited on the porch, thinner than Luna recalled, her eyes bright but tired. She opened her arms. "My moon," she whispered as they embraced. "You came." Luna pulled back, searching her mother's face. "Mama, you sounded different on the phone. What's wrong?" Sarah glanced at Derek, polite but distant. "Welcome, young man. Come inside. There's tea and stories waiting." They sat around the low table. The house smelled of dried herbs and old memories. Samuel's empty chair stood like a silent witness. Sarah poured tea with trembling hands, then reached under the mat and pulled out the folded paper. "Luna," she began, voice steady despite the tears gathering. "Before I speak, know this. I have loved you every single day since your father brought you home. You were never less than my heart." Luna frowned. "Mama, you're scaring me." Sarah unfolded the letter. "Read it with me. Or let me tell you." She spoke then, words slow and deliberate. The dream at 3 a.m. The angel's voice, clear as river water. The bargain. The promise of a child in exchange for her life. Once the truth was revealed. Luna listened, eyes widening. Derek sat frozen, hand covering his mouth. When Sarah finished, silence wrapped the room like mist. Luna's voice came small. "So, I was found. In the bush? With the placenta still attached." Sarah nodded. "Your father heard your cry while tapping the palms. He left his bicycle, his tools, everything, and ran to you. We waited days for someone to claim you. No one did. We named you Luna because the moon was fading when he found you. You were our miracle." Luna stood abruptly, chair scraping. "Why tell me now? After all these years?" Sarah's eyes filled. "Your father is gone. I feel the days slipping from me. I couldn't let the secret die with me. You deserve to know who you are, and who I chose to be for you." Luna paced to the window, staring at the mango tree where they'd buried Samuel. Rain began to fall, soft at first, then harder. She turned back. "You agreed to die? For me. I had nothing to lose," Sarah said simply. 10 years of empty arms. 10 years of whispers. When the angel came, I said yes without hesitation. A child. My child. Worth any price. Derek rose, voice gentle. "Luna, this doesn't change who you are to them. Or to me." But Luna shook her head. "It changes everything. I'm not really theirs. Not by blood." Sarah crossed the room, took Luna's hands. "Blood is water, child. Love is thicker. I carried you in my heart long before I carried you in my arms. Every language you speak, every life you've saved in that clinic, every truck of food you sent back here. That is ours. That is you. That is us." Tears streamed down Luna's face. "But you're going to die because of me. Because you told me." Sarah smiled, sad and radiant. "No, my moon. I'm going to die because time takes us all." The angel's words were never a curse. They were a choice. And I chose you. Again. And again. Every single day. Outside, thunder rolled. The rain pounded the tin roof like applause. Luna sank to her knees, head in Sarah's lap. "I don't want to lose you too." "You won't," Sarah whispered. "Look at the moon tonight. When it fades, think of me smiling. And keep shining." That night, Sarah grew quiet. Her breathing slowed. Luna and Derek sat vigil, holding her hands. Just before dawn, Sarah opened her eyes one last time. "Luna," she breathed. "Thank you for being my miracle." Then she was gone. The village mourned again. They buried Sarah beside Samuel, under the mango tree. The drums beat slow and deep. Women sang the old songs of farewell. Children placed flowers. Luna stood at the grave, Derek's arm around her. The moon hung low, silver and full. She spoke to the sky. "You gave me life. You gave me love. You gave me everything." Later, when the mourners drifted away, Luna turned to Derek. "I'm going back to the city, but I'm coming home more often. And I'm starting a foundation, in their names. Samuel and Sarah's light. For every abandoned child. For every mother who waits." Derek nodded, eyes shining. "I'll help. We'll help." As they walked away, hand in hand, Luna glanced back at the graves. 2 stones side by side. Above them, the moon began its slow descent. She smiled through tears. And somewhere, in the quiet spaces between heartbeats, the angel watched. Silent, satisfied. What is a miracle, if not love that chooses to stay, even when it costs everything? What is a curse, if not the price we willingly pay for the ones we hold dearest? Luna's light never dimmed. It grew. It spread. It touched every corner her parents' love had dreamed of. And in the village, on quiet nights, the old ones still tell the story. Of a palm wine tapper who heard a cry in the dark, of a woman who said yes to an angel, of a child who became the moon itself. They say, some gifts come wrapped in mystery. Some love comes wrapped in sacrifice. But the greatest truth of all, love is never wasted. Moral lessons woven through the tale. True love chooses others above self, even at great personal cost. Family is built by choice and devotion, not merely by blood. Every life carries gifts meant to bless others. Use them boldly. Sacrifices made in love leave a legacy that outlives us. Truth, though painful, sets the heart free to shine brighter. Thank you for listening to this story by Ify Grey. What lesson did it teach you? If you enjoyed this folktale, like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and join me for more stories from around the world.